Hello everybody, it's Jim the Gentleman Crafter. Today I thought I would show you how I do a candle technique. I call it candling, but it's really what it is. It's a wax resist painting technique, and I'll just run through it real quick. First of all, just a piece of wood, any wood. This also works on chipboard, so you might try that out later, or we might do it later. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my raw wood and I sanded it down just a little bit. You don't have to do that. And I'm going to paint it black, any color you want to show through as your base coat. But I'm going to do black for this and paint it up real quick like that. And I'm going to let this dry real quick. And I'll start the video back in a second after I get it to dry. But I'm going to coat basically all the sides that I want to show with my paint. Okay, so I'll be back in just a few shakes. Okay, I'm back. My piece is dry. Once again, you can see you don't have to paint this really beautifully. I mean, this is the undercoat. So the next thing I'm going to do, step 2, would be grab a candle or an old taper or anything, a votive, and what we're going to do is we're going to rub it on the edges of the piece, just wherever you want it to resist. It doesn't have to be all over the corners. It can just be in spots, just wherever you think. So that's what I'm going to do with the candle. Okay. The back side, even though it's not going to show. Okay, and the next thing I'll do is I'll come back and show you how to put the second coat on. So that is our wax resist. You can kind of see the light areas where the candle wax is, and that is the candling part. Be back in a second. Okay, I'm back, and we're going to put our top coat on, and I'm going to use some red for this. So I'm just going to throw it on real quick. This one you want it to be a little bit thicker. It doesn't have to be too thick, but just a little bit thicker than your base coat. Use a little bit of that and paint the edges and throw some more on paint on. There we go. Smoothing it out there. Oops. The other side. Just covering up everything I've done. Covering up the wax. Like that. One last stroke there. Okay, and I'll be back when this dries and I'll show you the last step. Thanks a bunch. Okay, I'm back. The second coat has dried and once again it's red. And I'm going to take some fine sandpaper and sand over the edges where the candle wax was. So, and the base coat should come through. Even if the wood shows, that makes it even better. You see where the black is showing through from the candle. Even the wood, which will be really cool in a second, I'll show you. You can see where the paint just comes right up. If you go too far, you'll go back into the wood like I'm doing on the edges, which is totally cool too. That's the look that you want. So you're getting this aged, kind of distressed look, which is really neat, I think. Okay, so that's that. And let me grab my ink, and actually I'll show you what to do next with these lighter colored spots of the wood. And I'll be right back. Now y'all may not want to use your pad like I'm fixed to use my pad. But this is a vintage photo from the Ranger Distress Inks, and it's an older pad, so I have it just for this kind of thing. But you could also use your blending tool if you wanted to as well, your applicator. So I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm going to go over the edges where the raw wood is showing through, like that. You can see it picks up that brown ink and ages it a little bit too, and it's really cool. So we'll go over the whole thing like that. Okay, one more shot over the top. Now the cool thing, what happens when you do that, I grab a paper towel, and I hope that y'all can see. Let's see. There we go. You can kind of see where the dark is coming through. It's kind of darkened these raw edges. But once again, back to the cool thing. Take a take a paper towel and start pulling it off a little bit. What will happen is it starts to buff it, and it makes it shine a little bit. It still leaves the ink in there, but it's just like it kind of finishes it off a little bit. There. It's almost like buffing your shoes. I mean, it just really brings out the shine in it. And if you don't want that, obviously, just leave it matte. It's just a nice finish, a nice shiny finish with the black showing through, and just kind of ages the wood, and it's just really pretty, I think. So that is how I do my candling technique, the wax resist technique. Thanks for looking.